Fox Business anchor David Asman just covered this and his fight against fraud across the country in Fox Business In-Depth War on Fraud, now available on Fox Nation. David, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Don't you feel like every week we're finding some new fraud somewhere?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I found the source of the fraud in California. It's the Attorney General himself who has been avoiding prosecuting the fraudulent. It was so fraudulent that amateurs went in there and were able to uncover it. He's supposed to be the professional who has an idea of what is legal and what is not, and he has an idea of who deserves to be in jail and who doesn't. We had at least 700 of these hospices in LA alone that had all the red flags of being a fraudulent institution. 700. Thousands of individuals were involved in the fraud of those 700 hospices. You know how many people he arrested today? 5. 5 people. You think he's doing his job now? He was criticizing President Trump, saying this was about 2 months ago. He was saying that President Trump doesn't care about fraud. He just cares about weaponizing the word fraud. No. Dr. Oz, who is President Trump's appointment to oversee Medicare and Medicaid, has shut down 200 fraudulent hospices in Los Angeles. 200. He cut them off from federal funding, which means essentially he shut them down. California is responsible for licensing these institutions, all of the child care institutions, the adult care institutions, all of those institutions that are at the heart of this fraud that are receiving billions and billions of dollars from the federal government.
Okay. The Chris Rufo recent piece, and he was on with Dana Perino earlier today on the news channel, is about the in-home supportive services program. It's a $30 billion a year. Rufo calls it a fraud magnet. He estimates that taxpayers are losing up to $12 billion a year to scammers. Well, of course, Gavin Newsom's PR room responded to that. And all they do is troll people like us and don't know the different channels between one another. But this is the fact that they posted on X 4 hours ago. Fact, California officials visit each recipient of care to make sure that they need it.
Hogwash.
That's a nice word, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's their response?
Yeah.
But billions are being stolen every year, so then you're admitting that you were in on it.
The only thing they've admitted to in terms of today's indictments that the AG came out with was $267 million. We're talking billions and billions, tens of billions of dollars in California. And it's not just California. It's happening here in New York as well. In fact, those home care the people who are paid $60,000 in California a year, they're not making as much as the people in New York who are paid $72,000 for doing the same work. They're essentially staying home with their parents. It's fine if it's necessary, but as we found out with the hospices, 80 to 90% of the people in the hospices lived another year. So it's clear that these are not hospices by the technical definition of that word. And it's all fraudulent. The amount of fraud, we've talked about this before. It's always been there. We've always had fraud in government agencies and government institutions like this. But the pandemic put that fraud on steroids. Trillions of dollars, $5.5 trillion of dollars was spent during the pandemic on all kinds of programs. And there's no way anybody could follow the money there. It was just too much money floating in the system. And a lot of it is still there.
Well, the politicians live off the grift. That's why they don't want to end it.
That's
We got let's rapid fire, 2 topics. This one. Moving on, tomorrow marks 100 days of Zohran Mamdani. The mayor emphasizing economic justice over traditional measures of growth for an economy. And in an interview with the New York Times, he addressed his proposed property tax increase proposal, saying, quote, "We are continuing to work every day to ensure that it's off the table." David.
He wants to hit, he said this, not me talking, he wants to hit white people. He wants to get white people to pay more in taxes. He wants to get white people to lose some of their property value, some of their property rights, literally. This guy is a racist, and he's using racism as a form of public policy. I thought we did away with that in the 1960s.
David, before we go, a new Fox News poll shows more and more Americans are fed up with wasteful government spending, with 53% of Americans now saying a great deal of it is wasteful, up from 44% in March. Are they frustrated that there's waste? Are they frustrated that there's more taxes? What's the brunt of the frustration coming from?
Well, from the reality, from the unveiling of what we've seen. Again, the pandemic spending really exposed a lot of things. It exposed how badly our kids were being educated because of those remote learning, and mostly it exposed how badly the government spends money. It just can't do it. That's one reason. The other big reason, and many people put it first, is that they're taking money out of my pocket in order to do it. But we're spending too much money. We've got to cut back on it. The best news about the jobs report last week was that government workers are going down in number. Private sector workers are going up in number. So we are downsizing at least the people working in the government. That should save a lot of money.
I'd like to see some attention come back to the spending again. You know, when Elon was there was a lot of conversation.
Well, when you're not employing as many government workers as you used to, you're spending less money.
But anytime you touch one nickel of spending, everybody, Republican, Independent, and Democrat goes,
Yeah, vested interest.
Yeah,
there are a lot of vested interests.
David, thanks for...
I think that was, I don't know who was laughing, but somebody was laughing at me. Thank you for the courtesy laugh.
That's right. David, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be sure to